Hello everyone, this is Yuso here. This is the return of the TheFutonSpuds with our long overdue Spudcast. Joining me today, fellow Spudcast, what did I call you guys? Spuds? Studs? Spuds.
Spud studs.
Spud studs.
Spudineers, I don't know.
We have Dawson.
That's me.
We have Austin, who's in the middle of an apocalyptic time.
Hi guys.
He may or may not die in the middle of this podcast.
It's actually slowing down, which I think is a bad sign though, because I think that's a sign that a tornado is coming. But I don't know.
Okay, so he might die. Leaving this podcast to be very legendary. And also, we have a special guest with us, Mr. Jefferlope.
Hey, I'm that special guest you just mentioned.
All right then. So, here we're going to talk to you about girl problems. No, I'm just kidding. Today we're going to talk about, we're going to start off with the Xbox One, everyone's favorite thing to talk about right now.
Xbox on.
Xbox, go home.
So the Xbox One was announced on May 21st, and so many people were not impressed.
No.
One of them. And
I was impressed. The conference was hilarious.
Jefferlope is pretty dumb, by the way, so don't listen.
It was great from a comedy standpoint.
Okay.
It was funny.
I'm just kidding, Jefferlope. Everyone's opinion counts here, except
That's
yours. Let's get some insight on it. So, Austin, give us some insight on the Xbox One, since that's your department.
Yeah. Wait, my department? Well, whatever. I think that the conference was never supposed to be about the video games, and that's what people complain about the most. But I think it was designed as a way to, showcase the Xbox One and what it can do in terms of technology. And it did that. But my main complaint with the conference is not even just like the way the conference was showcased. It was the console itself, because what they're doing essentially is trying to look, the PS2 was very successful for a multitude of reasons. You look at it and you see people used it as a DVD player all the time, as well as for its games. But, it had a library of games to back it up. Not only did it function as a DVD player, but it was a game console primarily. When you look at what the PS3 tried to do with making it like a global entertainment system for your living, that's the exact same thing that the Xbox One is trying to do. And as we can see with the PS3, that didn't work out so well. And I think what you can see is a trend of people saying, I can do this on my smart TV, on my smartphone. Why do I need to buy a very expensive game console for this? So what you have is companies like Valve or Nintendo, and even Sony now, I guess, trying to market more towards selling their system as a gaming system, primarily building their system for the games and showcasing the games as much as they can. And then you have companies like Microsoft who are still trying to grab a piece of the casual market, trying to broaden their audience, trying to make the Xbox One more than just a gaming system. And I completely understand that it can be more than just a gaming system. But when your entire conference for a gaming system is sports games and TV, it stops being a gaming system, and it more or less becomes a gimmick, I guess. Because no one's going to buy that to watch TV. No one's going to buy that to play sports games. The people that are going to buy that are the diehard Microsoft fans that want to play Halo or that want to play Call of Duty or anything like that. But even when they did talk about Call of Duty, it wasn't the stuff that people actually care about. So in this sense, it's not surprising that Microsoft's stocks fell and Sony's and Nintendo's rose, because who does Microsoft appeal to now? They're not going to appeal to the mass market because their system is inadequate to deal with all the things that people want, and they're not going to appeal to the hardcore gamers because there are no hardcore games for the hardcore gamers. So Microsoft has caught themselves in a very hard place with this.
All right. Well, in terms of that, though, when you think about gimmicks and all that fun stuff that modern-day consoles are trying to bring out, when you think of innovation, there's not much left, of the technology to pump out to make it, I mean, like a big jump from the Nintendo 64 to the Dreamcast to GameCube. Okay, those are radical graphical jumps. But in terms of now, I mean, the best gaming you could ever get is on a PC because you could power it up as much as you want. And consoles are very limited. So what they do now is try to, make it gimmicky, give it stuff that one console can have over another. So we had the Wii with the motion, and then Microsoft came up with Kinect, which is, out of all three systems, that is the most innovative motion detection software. So really, what can you expect from a new console? Really, because the next phase would probably be virtual reality to the point where you actually feel those things, but that's not happening
I hope
anytime
so.
soon. So, what do you think? The Wii, when the Wii came out, how did you guys all feel about the motion detection? Not motion detection, but the Wiimote.
I think it was pretty cool for the time. It was like, there was a few stuff out there like that, but not an entire console built around. And the way Nintendo marketed the Wii was very, with their ad campaign was really smart with how they advertised the Wii with a certain amount of games instead of how the Kinect does it with how they connected it with 80 different games. Like every game can have this feature in it. The Wii did it with Wii Sports, Wii Play, stuff like that. And that was really smart because it got people wanting to play these specific games they saw in the commercial. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Well,
but
they also did package Wii Sports with it, so
exactly, yeah. I think that really helped bust the Wii, improve its sales.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, admit it. Who spent more time playing Wii Sports than they want to admit?
I do.
I played Wii Play more than Wii Sports.
I love the shooting game on Wii Play.
Yeah, it's a great game.
The one on Wii Play Motion was confusing.
But I think what Nintendo did so well was after they came out with these original initial games like Wii Play, Wii Sports, they started creating other games built around the Wii remote. But it wasn't like they created the games solely for this gimmick, kind of like the Kinect is, and with the PS3, with the PS Move and that Wizardry game. There's the sirens again. The Wii games like Skyward Sword were kind of built around an already existing framework, but they kind of used this gimmick to make it more enhanced, and I think it worked to a point. So I think that's what was so incredible about Nintendo's innovation with with the last generation. If they can do that with the Wii U, that is yet to be seen.
The Wii U, to me, I still haven't found any much reason to get it yet. It's still pretty much the combining of the Wii and DS. All the innovations in both consoles just slammed into one.
Can I say something? I think that the thing with the Wii U, I don't have one yet, so I can't really say much about it, but I think that developers are kind of treating it as a DS, treating the gamepad as a DS second screen, and I think that's a problem. They should focus on trying to bring something new, something instead of developing for the Wii U like a DS, to try to develop it as its own thing.
Yeah, one thing I found out that really disappointed me, because I was expecting this to happen with the recent release of Resident Evil Revelations. I would have hoped that the Wii U second screen would have used it. There's this thing called the Genesis scanner that you point around in the game and you scan things. My expectation for the Wii U was you'd be able to use the gamepad to scan things around the screen, using the gamepad. But instead, the Wii gamepad is only used to select your weapons or look at a map.
Really? I think they did that in Zombie U, actually, the scanning.
Yeah.
And it's a cool thing to do. I would rather I saw so many cool tech demos of the Wii U, why I was so excited with they were flicking like ninja stars onto the screen and stuff like that, and I was like, that's really cool. Like that really excites me to play new games, and I was thoroughly excited to see what Nintendo of all companies could do that, because when they take an innovation, they make it their own. You know, they make it creative and they make it enjoyable in their own IPs. But I have not seen a game built around these. Obviously, there were like the Nintendo Land games for that kind of stuff, but I've really yet to see a game fully implement what the Wii U could do. You've seen like Zombie U with scanning and stuff like that, and Super Mario Bros. U with like touching the screen and putting blocks up. But you have this really incredible technology in your hands. And I think it comes down to the developers not using it. Like Jefferlope said, the developers are just not using it to its potential. And I think it's been the same thing with the Wii too, actually. Whenever I saw a game that fully used the Wii's potential, it was made by Nintendo.
That might be the only way to get it onto it then. I mean, I think if there's going to be one game from one franchise that's going to use as much as the Wii U's potential, it will be a Legend of Zelda game.
Yeah, I agree.
Can't wait for that.
I'm not too sure.
If it's going to be anything, it's going to be one of Nintendo's lesser franchises because they sometimes will take like, not like lesser, but like they'll take like Kirby or Donkey Kong or Metroid and try like, using that to explore new ground. Like they took Metroid and put it in first-person shooter mode to explore first-person shooters.
I could actually see a Metroid game on Wii U, like a Metroid Prime kind of game where you have...
that would be awesome. You have no idea.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Retro can make it, and...
From what I heard, that one of the best mini-games on Nintendo Land is the Metroid one.
That's really fun. My favorite mini-game is the Pikmin one. Maybe just because I really like Pikmin, but that's the one I found myself playing the most.
Hey, you like Pikmin? I can't imagine why. MrOlimario. MrOlimario, why is Pikmin your favorite game?
I don't know. I think Pikmin just has a certain charm to it that some other games fail to capture.
I was being sarcastic.
No, I thought you were actually asking me why I like Pikmin so much.
I was sarcastic. That's why I said your username, which I've never ever said.
Whatever. I thought you were piggybacking off of that. Next topic. Go.
Okay, well, since I mentioned Zelda earlier, and this is like something I'm super fangirl excited for, who saw A Link to the Past sequel coming?
Oh my god.
Yep.
Okay, so I haven't actually played A Link to the Past before.
Oh, no, you did. I was watching you, and it was making me really sad.
Yeah, I'm playing through it for my first time now, and Yuso was watching me, and he kept yelling at me the whole time for doing it. So
how do you like it so
plan
far?
on beating it to be ready for the sequel.
Yeah, awesome.
I mean,
awesome. Now, how do you like Link to the Past so far? If you don't love it by the end of this month, we're gonna have problems, man.
Link to the Past is one of my favorite Zelda games. It's so amazing.
The thing is,
Wait,
I feel like
it's the last day of the month.
I know. That's why. It worked fast.
I didn't even realize that.
It doesn't matter, Austin. You're not gonna wake
yeah,
up.
I'd better.
Today's your last day on Earth, anyways, Austin.
Well, I mean, we'll have till the end of the podcast. A little tornado picks me up, so.
No, the tornado's being courteous and letting us finish the podcast. All right.
The reason that I'm not really liking it right now, I don't not like it, but
it's probably just because Yuso's yelling at you. If you just let you enjoy the damn game, you'd probably love it.
It yell at me because that kept me focused on playing it instead of.
Oh, okay.
So, but is it just me, or when Link swings his sword in that game, is it really pathetic compared to other games? I don't know. I feel like it's really hard to hit enemies without them hitting you. You have to get up really close to them.
I think it has to do with the top-down aspect of it.
No, because usually I like Oracle of Ages and Seasons are two of my favorite, and Minish Cap are some of my favorites in the series. But just the way Link to the Past plays, it kind of plays so differently from the other ones. With
I haven't even noticed that.
Huh. It might just be me. I don't know.
It might be you.
You might just be finding reasons to hit it.
I do really like the world. That's the world map and everything.
Music in that game.
And the dungeon puzzles I like a lot. So there's that.
You better like it because you're gonna see it in the next game. Woo!
I'm so excited for that game. You have no idea.
No. I would have never seen like.
Yeah, out of any announcement they could have thrown at me, that was one I just did not expect. Like, Link to the Past is the one that Nintendo hardly ever talks about. Like, when everyone talks about their favorite Zelda game, it's always, Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker or Skyward Sword, stuff like that. But Link to the Past is hardly ever talked about by people, so it's especially weird why that would get a sequel.
Mm-hmm. Fan service, my friend. Fan service.
Oh god, I can't wait for that game.
Wasn't somebody at Nintendo, Miyamoto or something, someone saying that Link to the Past was the one they wanted to make a sequel to? Almost?
I think that was Reggie.
That was Reggie?
Yeah, because he's always said that Link to the Past is his favorite game of all time, and I've
Reggie's
never heard that once from him.
I agree. Link to the Past is actually my favorite Zelda game of all time, too.
You agree that it's his favorite game of all time?
I agree, it's his favorite game of all time. If it isn't, it is now.
It sure is, Reggie.
Okay. Danny, since you've been so quiet, you get to bring us to our next topic. What do you want to talk about?
Crap. Yeah, we're on the topic of the Wii U, I guess. Let's talk about Nintendo not opting out of E3 this year and just deciding to Nintendo Direct it instead.
I think that's actually a good strategy because, I mean, anytime Nintendo has had an E3 conference in the past few years, they've only gotten bad press from it, really. I don't, like, just people don't really say, they say they did a bad job of presenting all their stuff, whatever. And, but the Nintendo Direct, like the Nintendo Direct they had before E3 last year, it got a lot of people excited. So I think it's a good idea what they're doing. And every time they have a Nintendo Direct, it gets a lot of people excited.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think it's a better strategy.
I agree, but like I do think that the main reason I agree that it's a good idea is because E3 in general isn't going anywhere. It's going to probably close down. I doubt you'll see many more E3s just because of the way video games are going. It's less about having a central conference, and it's more divisive. Like, we have a conference for our games, for our genre. We have a conference for our genre.
Well, not only that, there's also a lot of developers showcase their stuff at conventions, like anime conventions or comic conventions. Yeah. So
I was just saying, like, they show it online too. Like, there's no reason to have an E3 anymore. And I think Nintendo realized this, and they're kind of jumping ship. And Nintendo Directs are really good. People love those. Like, every time there's one, like, people will be like, hey, come watch this Nintendo Direct with us. And they're very frequent, and people get excited about it. So I don't see why they want to do this. Problem I do have with it is just that you're kind of excluding, I guess, a lot of the gamers that aren't Nintendo fans. This isn't so much as a problem, but it's like, if you're not a hardcore Nintendo fan, you might not watch a Nintendo Direct, so you're not going to get this information. But if you're not a hardcore Nintendo fan, you're likely going to watch their E3 press conference no matter what. Just because it's E3. But that won't be that big of a problem, I think. Plus, they're going to save a lot of money with not having to set up a legitimate conference. Like, all that technology going into that to set up tech demos and stuff like that, that's a lot of money spent, wasted for Nintendo in the past few years because they have not been profitable on E3 in the past few years. And I definitely think what they're doing with, like, the demos through the Wii U and through Best Buy is really cool. I'm excited for that.
Well,
how many Best Buys are getting that? Do we know?
Yeah, there's a number. Maybe Jefferlope knows because he looked it up. Because he didn't believe me.
The number.
I could have sworn I heard something about, like, Nintendo doing demos through the Wii U.
I'm not sure, but it's still gonna
Over
cost
100 Best Buy.
over 100. Okay, so we're looking at triple digits. I thought it was double digits. But
I think that's a good idea though, because like E3, it's exclusive to press. But with this, it'll make it more accessible to everybody else. Instead of just watching other people play it, you get to experience it yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing more metro area Best Buys.
I just wonder if Best Buy themselves will be really accommodating to everyone who wants to come in and, like, play the games with video cameras in hand and stuff like that.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind extra business.
I know, or
Yeah,
publicity.
true,
Or
but, like,
publicity.
Their demos are never well set up. Like, I went to go play the 3DS at Best Buy before the 3DS came out, and it was like it was just for like 7-year-olds, so I had to get on my knees to play the 3DS, and it was the most awkward thing. And
It's your fault for being a tall freak. That's it.
You're free.
No, I swear, like, even if I wasn't this tall, I would have had to kneel.
Shrink a few inches. I'm sure Danny wouldn't have that problem, right, Danny?
Best Buy's just oppressing the tall people.
Yeah. Agreed.
All right, so let's talk about dangerous things, led by the man who himself is in danger as we speak.
Actually, it's not that bad anymore. Oh, no. Okay, keep going.
I'm before the storm, my friend. You're in the eye of the storm.
We need to keep the audience thinking that you're gonna die. Keep it interesting.
No.
Keep them listening.
Oh no, a pterodactyl! Oh no!
Alright, so we have a hot topic. Sexism in video games. Dun,
Dun dun dun. Wow, that was pretty good.
Alright, so leading us once again, Austin. You know, we're so lucky that Tornado hasn't ever ripped you up because you're the ones talking the most. We'd be like,
I just like talking about things.
like talking.
Well, I'm gonna kind of like intro this and let you guys voice your opinions, because the only reason that I even brought this up in the first place was because, well, when I first brought this up was back when that whole Dragon Crown incident was going on. One of the main characters in the game was revealed here. I can actually link you guys a picture, and maybe you can put it up in the video. She was very revealing of her cleavage, and it received a lot of backlash from people in the gaming community because they assumed it was sexist and stuff like that. And if I can get the picture working here, maybe you guys can see what it's actually like. But for a while, people were actually yelling at the designer of the characters because of how he designed her. And I think this brings up a really interesting point about how designers portray their women characters in video games. And it also leads to a topic about sexism in the video community.
Whoa, good morning.
Yeah.
And good night.
Well,
But, yeah. So,
I'm pretty sure whatever you just said, ever since Danny put the picture up, no one's been listening to what you said.
I basically asked, do you think that sexism in video games is as prevalent as people make it to be, or do you think it's as big of a problem as people make it to be, or do you even think it's a problem in the first place, or what?
Well, if you ask me, I'm a 90s kid, so sexism has always been censorship in my video games, okay? I don't know what preferred games you guys are playing, but my Nintendo games are clean. But
I don't.
If you don't have, like, people portrayed as, like, huge cleavage, you do have, like, dumb bimbos walking around in JRPGs that serve nothing than to whisper you a tutorial about how to press B to pick up a box. Like, and they have no character development, they have no screen time in the game. So that brings up, is that, is that intentional, or do you think that's just, like, I
think that's more just bad design.
probably,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking back to the Far Cry 3 reveal trailer from E3 a couple years ago, or maybe last year, where it was just like straight up full frontal nudity on that girl. And
oh yeah,
yeah, that's kind of what comes to mind for me, at least, when on this topic. And so I think it's, sexism in video games is definitely there. I'm just not really sure if I have an opinion on whether it's a bigger problem than it has been.
I think that sexism in video games is kind of, it's just as big, it's just the same thing as like sexism in movies or whatever. I don't think it's an exclusive thing to video games, just sexism in general.
Okay.
I don't think that you can look at the other side and see plenty of video games that are the opposite of sexist. That are just, like people like to bring up Metroid as an example of a strong female lead, and like I can think of plenty of games just like that, and
like Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like the newest Tomb Raider, she's actually not even like when people saw the trailer, they were like, "Oh, she's so weak" and stuff like that. But she's actually fairly well written and stuff like that. So.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what
I
I heard. Yeah.
Okay, so we're all talking about girls, but what about if, there was something like this?
Oh dear. Oh, he's just showing off.
That's sexism, guys. That's sexism right there.
Well, there you go. It exists.
Yeah,
I think it definitely. I think people just want to play, or generally want to play as someone that looks good and looks like they would be, in terms of a male, they look like they would be an adventurer. They look muscular, so they look like they would be doing this kind of crap. In terms of a female, I think that's more just eye candy.
I know what you're talking about. I'd love me some Chris Redfield over me.
I think it's definitely overblown. Like, if I can go back to the whole the Sony conference revealing the PS4, and when there were about 5,000 posts on Kotaku about how Sony didn't have any female presenters, and how that's like a crime against humanity.
It is.
But I would much rather have a company present their games by the person that had most to do with that game than just by a random woman who's in the company. I'm not saying this woman is unimportant, but generally in the video game industry, the women are in charge of marketing and business and stuff like that and have little to do with the actual game development. So why would I want this random woman that has no idea what the game is about to come up and tell me about this game just to excuse this company for sexism, when I could have this guy come up and tell me about how he's crafted this game, which is what happened at the Sony conference. But so many people got pissed at them because there weren't any females presenting, but that's just because no females made the game, and that's where it gets way too far. But I definitely think there's sexism in video games. I just think it's more towards the community, in professional gaming and stuff like that. And when you see a girl playing a game, it's kind of I know we like to joke about this and everything, but I think there is definitely some sort of animosity towards females in the gaming community.
Girls don't play video games. That's like saying girls are on the internet.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's all silly.
It is really silly. So, that's the news portion. Let's talk about us. Yay! It's been months since we all... oh yeah, that's right. We have to make fun of Jacob, because he's not here.
We're not making fun of Jacob.
Jacob, you smell like rotten tea.
Has Jacob even been in a Spudcast?
I think so.
Yeah, he has.
Better have.
Yes? Okay. Okay, just making sure.
And Danny, if you're hearing this, you probably aren't because you're dumb. You're dumb.
Oh.
Oh.
Burn.
Shit.
And Dose, if you're hearing this, we miss you. Come back to us.
Yeah.
We should all talk about what we've been playing recently.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
We'll start off with the quietest person. Jefferlope.
With the what?
Well, I've been playing. I just beat Persona 4 Golden the other day. I'm on that system that nobody bought, and
The PS Vita, the PS
PETA?
PS Vita.
Pita bread. Yummy.
I just beat that, and after a month or so of playing purely text-based games like that, I decided I'm an action game and decided to go and work on finishing Kid Icarus Uprising, which I haven't touched in 2 years.
Yay!
That's a really good game.
I like it a lot, but I don't know why. I just kind of stopped playing it after I got it. It came out, and then I just stopped. And then I remembered it existed. And went back to playing it.
All right. Well, Austin, why don't you be quiet while Danny tells us what he's been playing?
Oh. Sorry, Austin.
It's okay.
Alright, I've been playing through Demon Souls, and it's hard. And other than that, I've been balancing that with Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4, and whenever I get tired of either of them, I play Bully by Rockstar to relieve stress.
Oh, that game.
Danny has
That
issues.
game. can punch children. I'm not saying I do often, but you can. It was nice of them to include that.
And,
Oh boy.
and that was our answer from our sociopath of the group. Alright, Austin, what have you been playing?
I just recently
Okay, time's up.
finished...
I'm just kidding.
No. System Shock 2 recently came out on Steam, so I decided to replay it then, because I love that game. Like, beyond imaginable. And so I just finished that recently, and I recently started replaying Legend of Mana, which is one of my favorite games, so... And I think that's it, besides if you want to count, like, just messing around on Pokemon and Fire Emblem, if that really counts, then...
No.
Okay.
Just kidding. It does. So the last games I've been playing, we got Resident Evil 6 and Resident Evil Revelations on PS3. So I'm playing through Revelations slowly, which is my second time because I had it on 3DS. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It did come out on the 3DS.
And
It was fun.
Resident Evil 6, not really so much. I got it to play with a friend, and the friend hardly ever shows up, so I don't.
I've heard some bad things about that game.
6, it's okay on its own. I mean, if you want to play a Resident Evil game, like in today's times, Revelations will probably feel like the closest to a Resident Evil game.
Mm-hmm.
And 6 is on its own as an adventure game is pretty funny. That's what that's all I'm gonna say on that.
I played Revelations. I loved it.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I liked it more than, like, people seem to love Resident Evil 4 like so much, but I've only really liked Revelations and Code Veronica out of all of them.
Yeah, I actually would say though, Austin, that Revelations is more of the spiritual successor of Code Veronica, because Code Veronica is technically the last game before 4.
That's probably it then.
Yeah. And I think the timeline goes that Revelations takes place before 4 does. So.
It would seem like it.
That,
It would now make the most sense.
yeah, it tells you when it takes place. I just don't know. Like, I haven't looked it up. And I guess from side, like you play whatever those games on the side, I've been playing Mother 3 on the side.
Nice.
Yeah. Mostly when I'm in the restroom. Because y'all need to know that, everyone who's listening.
I feel like there are games that are better suited to playing on the toilet. Is that just me?
I don't know, let's see.
No, that is not just you.
What games do you play while sitting on the toilet? I play Mother 3 and Pokemon.
I think Pokemon is my go-to.
I always play Pokemon on the toilet. If I ever want to play Pokemon, I have to wait until I have to shit. And then I'm like, okay.
And all right, Austin provided our first censor of the podcast. Congratulations.
I'm sorry. I also, I find it's, like, just more casual games that don't require, like, any focus, like Mario and stuff like that. I always play. Like, I mean, getting invested in the story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What about you, Jefferlope?
Well, you mentioned Pokemon. For me, it's not Pokemon. It's more specific to the Pokemon trading card game.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Is it like the cards or the game about the cards?
The Game Boy game about the cards.
Okay.
No, he takes a deck of cards.
It would be so much more funny if it was
No,
cards.
yeah.
Just trading cards.
Not only
with
that, I take a
yourself.
whole deck of cards. I kind of need another person since it's a 2-player game. It gets awkward sometimes.
It's okay.
Stick a crate of air freshener, you'll be fine. Alright, so now let's stumble upon this topic. What game are you looking forward to for the rest of the year?
Oh god, I don't know if this is coming out this year, but during the last Nintendo Direct, there was a trailer for, not even a trailer, like a little teaser thing, for Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem. And I don't know if you guys know me, but those are two of my favorite game series ever. So, I don't know if that's coming out this year, but I guess that's going to be like a fighting game for the Wii U.
What?
And I am extremely excited for that.
So, yeah.
Oh, it's a role-playing game, never mind.
Oh, I was
Still,
like, wait, what? They're taking two RPGs and turning them into a fighting game? God damn, they're amazing.
well, there was a Persona fighting game for the PS3, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Arena, yeah.
Yeah, Arena was cool.
Okay, you know what? Now we're gonna take a minute. We're gonna take a minute away from that because I just remembered something. I saw him when I went to GameStop the other day to get Resident Evil. That oh god, I forgot the name of the game already. Project X is still coming out.
Where's Project X?
It's that
crossover game.
Oh,
yeah, that 3-way.
Oh yeah, when was that not coming out?
Apparently, they said people had like high skeptical doubts that it was gonna make it overseas.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I didn't think it was going to be localized, but now that they are doing it, it's cool.
That's pretty amazing. I mean, who is it again? It's between Capcom, Namco,
Namco Bandai, Sega,
and Sega. Yeah.
and I think Monolith Soft directed it actually.
So it's a
Who's the company behind Xenoblade?
crossover between three companies and one people. This is crazy. Now I got really excited when I looked there and I saw like, hey, there's Mega Man, there's X and Zero. What are they doing there? I'm like, oh shit, this thing's coming. Oh, there's my second sensor. Okay, so
Speaking of Monolith Soft, that X game looks pretty cool. The trailer they showed for that Xeno game that's coming for the Wii U.
yeah.
I'm sure Danny will show a picture of it right now.
God, it's awesome. It looks so cool.
See, you're looking at a still screenshot of it right now.
If you've ever played Xenoblade or Xenosaga, you're gonna know what to expect. I love Monolith Soft. It looks cool. Anywho, I'm also excited for that. Also, Shin Megami Tensei 4. That's cool.
Yes.
Okay, now, Danny, why don't you tell us what you're looking forward to after Jefferlope tells us?
Okay.
Well, I'm excited for Pokemon X and Y because ever since I was a kid, the one thing I ever wanted in the world was a 3D Pokemon game. And it's finally here. So,
What
yeah,
about on Coliseum?
well,
That filthy half-breed does not count. Do not speak of his name.
I actually like that game.
well, there's no problem with liking it, but the thing is, this is gonna sound really weird, but the thing that I like the least about Pokemon games is battling.
Huh. Interesting.
Like Harvest Moon or something.
What about? I'm just really weird, but what I like most about Pokemon games is going out on this adventure and exploring this world and making friends and the best thing about Pokemon games for me is nicknaming your Pokemon. That's my favorite part. You don't even know. I come up with amazing nicknames for my Pokemon.
I'm laughing at you, but I don't even like disagree. Like I completely agree with you. That's so much fun. Come up with the weirdest.
I'm just imagining Jefferlope like beating the champion and getting really upset. Like, it's over. Like, dang it, I beat the game. Bad.
Well, in Black and White, there's like so much after you beat the champion, so it's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully it's the same with X and Y. I'm actually really excited for that too. It's too many games to be excited for.
And then also, I'm excited for Ace Attorney 5
Oh, yeah.
because I over the past couple years or so, I realized that the Ace Attorney series exists. And so I started playing it and I fell in love with it. And right now I haven't beat them all. I'm still on Apollo Justice right now. But just watching the trailers for Ace Attorney 5, I'm super excited for it. So yeah, those games I'm looking forward to.
Thank you for hogging all the spotlight. You're not saying anything for the rest of us. Thanks.
Okay, I'll just go then.
This is Pokemon not liking battling. Next, you're gonna tell me that the next thing you don't like about the Mario games is the jumping.
I hate the
No,
platform.
you see, I play Mario games. I don't even press the A button.
That's what you...
He keeps falling off the edge, and he's like, "What the hell? What's happening?"
Okay.
Why can't I win?
Danny, your turn.
This game is rigged.
Okay. Dude. I... as far as developers, I'm kind of Naughty Dog's bitch.
Yeah.
Dog bitch.
That's fun.
Wait.
That
Um,
since you used that reference, it does not need to be bleeped out. Hooray!
hey.
Just pretend it was intentional.
Alright. So I am very excited for The Last of Us. I just think it looks really interesting and engrossing, and I loved Uncharted and Jak and Daxter, and all the way back to Crash even. And I'm also really excited for Beyond Two Souls from Quantic Dream and the Kingdom Hearts HD Remix 1.5, whatever you call it. The names are weird. And
Yeah, super excited for that too. And it
I
comes
mean,
out
Kingdom
like
Hearts tends to have weird names.
yeah, they do. I mean, I've played all of those games, but I'm excited to play them again.
Again. I'm excited for like the HD movie for 358/2 days.
Yeah,
Hope so.
that'll be interesting. Apparently you get trophies for that.
Trophies for watching like 33 cutscenes or something. Yeah.
Wait, for real?
Yeah.
Yeah, trophies will just...
That's awesome.
It's like, oh, you finished watching this scene, here's a trophy. It's like, oh.
I just want to get trophies for not even playing my system now. I just want to get...
Yeah, it's great.
You haven't played a game for 3 months. Here's a trophy.
You turned on your system. Here's a trophy. Okay.
That'd be amazing.
Yuso, what are you playing? Or what are you excited for?
Nothing. Yay!
You not excited for anything?
Nope. The only game I was looking forward to for this year was Revelations, and I already got it.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. There's so many good games coming out.
Aside from Pokemon X and Y, that's pretty much it.
But
I'm, so-
Yuso's just done for the year.
I'm like dumbfounded right now.
sorry.
Yeah, man.
There's so
It's like,
many good games.
I have so many games to catch up on, it's not even funny.
that's true.
There's
yeah.
even some games coming out for the Vita.
Who cares?
There's that one game that's like really like Persona, but it's not Persona, but it's pretty much Persona.
Shin Megami Tensei.
It's called like Mind Zero or something.
I half the time I forget the Vita exists until I see one at the stores.
I had one.
You're weird.
I kind of regret it, but there are some good games for it. Like Gravity Rush was awesome.
Gravity Rush is amazing.
Yeah.
I knew you were about to say it
Oh,
because that's like
Persona Gold,
the
yeah.
only good games on the Vita, so I knew you were going to say Gravity Rush, but Gravity Rush is a wonderful game.
That was like that and Persona 4 Golden were the only reasons I even got one in the first place, and I just assumed that like it would be like the PSP and there would be a lot of like really obscure RPGs, that's like, even if they're bad, those are the kind of games I play just because I'm like a masochist or something. Like, but
Yeah.
there's been none so far, so I don't know.
It's the only reason that I convinced my brother to get a Vita so I can mooch off of him.
Oh god.
You guys are terrible. Playing systems that don't exist.
We just have
Oh, boy.
This up because we were talking about innovation. I don't know if it's too late to bring this up, but the Oculus Rift is, I think, really interesting.
What?
Like,
have
you guys seen that at all?
I've seen a lot of it, and I can't really say anything about it because I haven't tried it myself. And that with that kind of thing, the whole experience, the whole
Yeah.
judging all is trying it yourself. So when I try it, I'll get back to you.
It's like I don't even know like if I can give it any like merit or criticism, just because it's like such a weird thing. Like it's so new to me. I can't even imagine what it would be like to wear it.
It's
but
not.
that kind of
I've got a
technology
virtual boy sitting in my room.
that kind of technology is just extremely exciting to me, and I think that would be like the next big thing, because we were talking about like virtual reality and augmented reality and stuff like that, and I think if we're heading in that direction, might as well go with the Oculus Rift.
Mm.
Maybe. Alright. Now, let's talk about technology. What's turning you on right now?
The Oculus Rift. Did you like Google this? Like topics to
What's
talk about?
turning you on right now?
Technology.
Yes.
That's good. I like that.
No, okay, what I actually wanted to bring up, because I keep seeing an ad on it on Hulu, about that one new car that has Siri built in.
What?
Wait, a car does?
Car, yeah, I think it's a model of Kia or something.
The iCar.
Oh, Kia.
I think it's Kia. They have Siri built in, like, in the car.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
does Siri like drive the car? Because that sounds terrible.
Siri, turn left.
Is that
It could kill you.
exactly what they want? I got Siri to call me Master Wayne.
Yes.
She also talks in like a British voice now, so it works.
That's amazing.
I know, right?
Siri calls me Master Wayne and in a British voice.
That-
It's not really
That's
Siri.
that's the kind of woman I want to drive my car.
I don't want a woman driving my car. I'm joking.
Oh,
Sexism in automotive industry.
we just lost. We just lost only 7 females who are watching us.
The single female that was watching us.
It was Jacob. Oh!
Oh! Here comes
Oh,
Came back from the darkness on that one. Boom from the bang bang. Okay. And now it's time for a quick retrospective game of the day, and then we'll talk about something, and then we'll end it.
okay.
So,
Okay.
the retrospective game of the day is... I'm looking around. Dragon Quest!
Dragon Quest.
Who has played Dragon Quest?
I love Dragon Quest. I didn't even like get into Dragon Quest, and well, no, I played Dragon Quest before. I played Final Fantasy. One of my first games was like Dragon Warrior something or other. I don't remember which one. I think it was. Anywho, then I played Dragon Quest 8, and after that, I just kind of went back and tried replaying all of them. I haven't beaten all of them, but I played through most of them, and I really like the games. I especially like the newer ones. I think Dragon Warrior, like the older ones, is so like quintessential JRPG, like very strict format. You grind, you do this, you do that. But the newer Dragon Quest games, like they still keep with the formula, but they're very good in their own right. And I think if you want to play just a solid JRPG, you have to look towards Dragon Quest, especially if you're talking about Dragon Quest 8, because that game is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
No, okay. I played...
I've never.
Oh, go on. Go on. Go ahead and interrupt me. It's cool. It's cool.
You can go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
go on. You start interrupting me. Finish. Don't start a job you can't finish.
Okay. I've never played a Dragon Quest game. but my brother bought Dragon Quest 9 along with every one of my friends, and they kept telling me to play it. And the one thing they said that that convinced me that I want to try it someday is that the game is full of puns.
Yes.
I love my puns. So one day I will play it, so I can enjoy those puns for myself.
The enemies themselves are puns. Like,
That's
it's fun. Yeah.
Heck, everything in the game is puns. Is that true?
Pretty much.
Yep. Pretty much, yeah.
Squaring
Yes,
up to the great sense of
That
humor.
sounds like the greatest thing to me. You can go now, Yuso.
Okay. So,
Interrupted,
when I
so
was
did you
a
like-
kid, I owned Dragon Warrior on the NES, and I never got far, so it always frustrated me, and it was like too much repellent for me to ever play any games. And later on down the life, I got the 3 of them that are on the DS, and I played 5 because I don't want to play 4 or 6 and whatever. And I actually thoroughly loved Dragon Quest V. It is the most fun RPG I've played in a while.
Which one is Dragon Quest V?
It's the one where you can recruit monsters to join your party.
I think I played that. Was that released on the DS?
Yeah, Hannah the Heavenly Bride.
Yeah. Okay, I played that. That's right.
It's the game where I name the character after myself, and I find out I have to get married to a girl, and like, oh, don't do that.
Ew, girls are yucky.
No, and I end up having kids. I don't. To this day, they're adopted. That's my story. I'll keep to it. Danny?
I think really my only experience with Dragon Quest is that I played 8 a couple times at my cousin's house when I was a lot younger, and then he moved away, so... And then I never really got into buying them at all. I should probably get on that.
You know what I really...
I feel like I'm the only one that's ever played like Dragon Quest extensively.
Yeah.
What? I told you whatever.
No, I know, but I played like every one of them. You've played like a couple.
Shut up. You know what I really hate just now? Danny said that he
What?
played Dragon Quest 8 when he was younger, and that makes me feel really old because I know that...
Oh, you're so young, Danny. Holy crap.
I know.
He's growing up. He just graduated.
I can't even vote.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm 17.
You're only 17. What is wrong with the world?
Hey, Danny just graduated high school like 2 weeks ago.
That's true.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't graduate until I was 18.
It was beautiful. I got to see Danny's graduation ceremony. I cried.
That's true. Did you see me bite the apple and hand it to the principal?
No, I got joined in too late.
Oh. Well, I did.
Wait, hold on. I need a little bit of backstory on this.
Okay, so the senior class decided that as many seniors as we could get in on it to bring apples to graduation. And like when we got our diplomas and walked down like this little set of steps, the principal would be there to shake our hands. And we like had all these apples and we would just take our diplomas, bite into the apple and just hand it to him. And so that's what we did. And like we actually got the majority of our class to do it. And eventually he just like got this cardboard box and started throwing the apples all into the... It was so great.
That's amazing.
Wait, so I was more confused as to how Yuso saw your graduation. Did he go to
Oh,
it?
yeah, they streamed it online.
They streamed it. Oh.
Yeah.
I was originally going to go to it, but it didn't happen.
Oh.
I would have been there in person because I love Danny that much.
You didn't go to my graduation.
I didn't know you back then. Even if I did, I would have wanted to go to it. Like, you're like a hippie back then. You had like long hair. You're tall. You're like a tree.
Some
I don't
descent.
have that long hair.
Yeah,
Like,
sure.
My hair's longer now than it was back then.
Shut up, you tree. I'm
You're mean.
gonna go to Jefferlope's graduation.
I graduated like 2 years ago, so.
I'm gonna do it. Watch me.
So you're gonna invent a time machine. You're going to go back in time to go to my graduation, possibly affecting the time stream and throwing the world into chaos.
Okay, well,
This
thing
it's gonna be
knowing-
some Back to the Future crap.
Knowing Yuso, he's probably just gonna force you to go to school again.
No, I'm gonna take you back with me and like, bye. See you in 4 years.
Sugar.
I'm taking the DeLorean back now.
Oh, Danny. Stop growing up. Actually, it'd be better if the other Danny was here because he's like, what, 16?
Yeah, he's younger. Well, no, he's 4.
Oh, he's 4. Yeah, he's 4. I forgot. He'll be graduating from preschool any day now. I'm the proud father here.
Youngest high school graduate of all time.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh,
Probably.
where does Danny go?
Danny tweeted, by the way.
What? What did he tweet?
Maybe he can get in here late.
I know.
No, I don't think so.
What did he say? What did he say?
He said he has SATs in the morning, so he can't come in tonight, but if we wanted to till tomorrow, he could do it then.
Okay, here's what we'll do tomorrow. We'll say okay, and then actually I can. I'm gonna be on my way home. Damn.
Oh.
Do double podcasts.
You can do it Sunday because I'll be.
Double.
If you guys do it Sunday.
Probably not Sunday because Game of Thrones is on Sunday, and I have like a ritual for that.
You guys could just dub him in later.
No, I don't. It's more of a waste of time thing because we're gonna do it. Like, okay, we're gonna do it, and then we actually don't.
You can have him do a solo podcast over our podcast.
Or monthly, or yearly, or never again.
Yeah, probably never again. This is like this is the last podcast ever.
No. I want to have like an actual schedule. Let's do it like monthly.
Let's talk to Skeletor then. Skeletor wants to do one too. Actually, I should probably let Danny do one, just me and him, because he's been wanting to do that thing about the video game music for a long time.
Well, then do that.
Yeah.
I was talking to him about it. But
All right,
as for
we'll
now,
discuss that.
we're going to sign off so Austin can die peacefully with his tornadoes.
It's not even storming outside anymore. It's so much better.
You're going to die. Okay. So,
I don't matter. I'm just
He's
like.
dying. That's fine.
It's either the tornado or the AIDS.
you weren't supposed to tell him about that part.
What is happening right now?
Everything. Okay. So, this is been Yuso here, hosting the podcast, even though I'm terrible. And I'd like to say goodbye, farewell, so long. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Spud you later.
Alright, thanks for having me.
Alright. Well, hopefully we can do this again, so keep tuned and take the smell of the turnip.